Finished part 2 of the Lorne Michaels biography. I thought it was well written overall, a nice peek inside. Some of the ideas that pop out to me are Lorne going to the wake with Chevy Chase from Michael O'Donoghue. Thinking about the characters that came through there, like John Belushi and Chris Farley, Kevin Nealon, and then all of those that kind of fell by the wayside that were characters over the years that were on the show. I think of the movies that were produced by Lorne Michaels through his production companies, so like Wayne's World, MacGruber, one of my personal favorites. You know, he started doing movies. He wanted to get into movies, and then I thought about all the digital technology that came in with like Lonely Island and whatnot. And overall, his lifestyle comes across. You know, he's sophisticated. He's sort of withdrawn, and it always seems like he's going to black tie events. It seems like somewhere along the line, he always skews young on the cast, where if he's trying to connect with what the current audiences want to hear, he goes with the youngsters, because that's who you know, it's always kind of reinventing, sort of like radio, I guess. So, you know, a guy like Andy Samberg comes along, it seems not funny to people who are 10, 20 years older, but it seems to work. They had a formula of, I think, Irish Catholic with Jewish writers, which was sort of a chocolate and peanut butter. Or no, is it Jewish? No, writers for like the Harvard Lampoon, people like that, and who may or may not be Jewish, but that would have a certain kind of more cerebral approach, and then the Irish Catholic folks who seem to be more earthy. I don't know if I have that right, because now that I think about it, Conan O'Brien is an Irish Catholic who went to Harvard, so there's some mixture there. But he did refer to, I guess one side would be the smart side, and then one side would be the earthier side, and then meeting in the middle. And I don't know who occupies each of those sides. It seems like one side is more, they could all, I guess, be through like the Harvard Lampoon farm system. So anyway, I thought it was a really interesting biography. He's had a very interesting life. He almost seems like he's a very organized person who relies on this sort of treadmill of production of episodes to make sure all comedic ideas are cycled through there. I thought it was well written, well paced, and covered lots of the things that I hadn't read. I read another Saturday Night Live biography, and it told a little bit of a different story. That was the one that came out in the 80s, I think. So it only kind of went up through mid-80s. So I like this book, and I recommend it to others. It's 22 hours long or so if you listen to it on audio.